Hello everyone, David here, MixBest TV. Hope you guys are having a great day. In this video, I'm gonna talk about what it seems to be a somewhat controversial subject. To my surprise, to be honest, because I didn't think this would be a controversial subject, but apparently it is. We're talking about recording, mixing, and mastering templates and how I feel about them. Let's go. Welcome back to MixBest TV, everybody. Before we start, please check the info box down below. Free plugin special discounts and offers. And if you haven't already, please go check out the new website, mixbesttv.com. In there, you will find all the available mix and mastering courses, start to finish, on many different genres, including the latest two releases, Mixing Hip Hop and EDM 2023, soon to be released, Mixing Rock 2023. You don't want to miss that. On the website, you can also book mix consultations, private lessons, mix and mastering productions, and a lot more. And if you want to up your mix and mastering skills, click the join button down here, become a MixBest TV member, access all the exclusive videos. And if the videos are helping you, you want to support the channel, please consider using the super thanks or grab some merch. Let's get to the subject: recording, mixing, or mastering templates. Actually, I realized I'm kind of late to the party on this one, because this apparently has been a trend for quite some time. I myself wasn't really aware that it was so widespread and there were so many websites selling and offering and promoting recording, mixing, and mastering templates. Before I say anything else, I want to make one thing very clear. This is not a stab at anybody in particular. I don't watch other people. I don't have time. I have no interest. I don't know what other people are selling, promoting, pushing, releasing. I have absolutely no idea. The reason because I'm making this video is because actually I was talking with some of my colleagues here in LA and in New York when I was on the East Coast, and they actually made me aware of all these templates and all these websites and people selling templates. And I was, hold on a second, people buy this stuff? And I was kind of very, very surprised. And at first I found it funny, and then I thought about it, and I kind of didn't find it funny anymore because I'm pretty sure by now already you can already guess what my feelings are about templates. I'll make it clear, I think for the most part they are bullshit. That's it. And I'm not trying to convince anybody. I mean, if you have templates, you use templates, you bought templates and they work for you, good for you. Keep doing it. My word is not the end-all be-all of mixing or mastering or anything alike. This is just my opinion, and what I'm trying to do here is simple. I'm trying to help. I'm trying to help people that are not experienced. Why do I say this? Because anybody who recorded, mixed, mastered music for, let's say, I would say probably consistently a year, but let's say 2 years, know that 99% of the time, templates would be completely useless. And you don't have to believe me. I will explain my logic and my thought process behind this, and then you will be informed and make your own decision. So if anybody with 1 or 2 years of experience would arguably agree unanimously that templates are pretty much useless, who are these templates aimed at? They are obviously aimed at newbies and people who don't know better. You see where I'm going here right off the bat? They are marketed to people who just have no idea. And with clever, we can debate that, marketing, they are made to believe that these templates are going to completely cut the need to learn, invest time, invest money, learning the craft, and completely eliminate the learning curve that takes years. That's pretty much at the end of the day. Whether or not they say it specifically or openly, or they word it in a way that then the listener is gonna think that, and is gonna assume that. That's a target audience, right? So people who are looking for answers. How do I record vocals? How do I get Drake's sound? How do I get Travis Scott effect? Stuff like that, right? Now, while ignorance is not a sin. Nobody is born with knowledge. We all had to learn somehow, some way, somewhere. At the same time, today there's a lot of good information. There's way more crap information than good information, but there's still a lot of good information out there. And there's still people, I want to say, like me, actually try to help people. So let's now try to be rational and logical and analyze this, right? Usually, let's say recording chain or mixing chain, name a big artist, right? This is the template that artist X uses. Let's say Drake, for just sake of the video. If you're looking into something like this and you're trying to sound like another artist, that's a bad premise and a bad starting point to begin with, for several reasons. First, because they are known in the world for that sound, for that style, for that vibe, and you are gonna be at best a copycat, a wannabe. There's 99% chances that you generic you will never be better than the guy that you're trying to clone. It's very different taking inspiration from someone and breaking down their mixes and breaking down their effects and breaking down their style, try to reverse engineering, and then adding your character, your personality, your skills, your taste, blend it and put it out. Even more, the key of some of the biggest artists is getting influenced by so many artists and taking a little piece here and there that you can't tell anymore what their influences are. Or even if you can tell, it's so different that some people say like, wow, this kind of sounds like this, but it's like so much different at the same time. And it reminds me also of this, like that's the key. When you try to clone somebody, at best, you're gonna be a wannabe and a copycat. I digress. Anyway, Drake template. First of all, when you look into a famous artist or whatever it is template, you should ask yourself one question. And I know it will sound obvious, but it's not. For some people, I've seen it, it's not. Do you actually like the way they sound, the mix or the style of vocals, or you like the artist and you like the songs? Because we all agree that there are some songs that are charting that sounds amazing, right? No doubt. There are also some songs that are charting that sounds awful. The fact that they are successful songs sometimes go hand in hand with quality mixes and quality recordings and quality top of the notch production, and sometimes it doesn't. Too long of a conversation to open here. So ask yourself this before buying into the concept of a template. Do you like the artist? Do you like the songs? Or you actually want to sound like that? Let's say you say yes. Let's say, I like it. I love it. Actually, let's say, you know what? I don't even care if I like it or not. People like it. It's a successful song. I want to ride the train. Cool. No argue with that. In today's market, that's a totally plausible and rational train of thought. This is the trendy sound. I want that. Fine. Let's talk practical. You get the Drake template. Let's say Noah, or who is his engineer now, does use a template to record them. He most likely use a template now because he's been recording Drake for 15 or 20 years. He knows the artist better than anybody else in the world. He recorded him successfully for hundreds of songs. He knows his technique, he knows his sound, he knows what mics, what preamps, what compressor work for him, he knows what he likes to hear in his headphones, he knows what effects he likes to hear, he knows what to do when something goes wrong in the recording. He knows what to do because probably he knows the songs already, or if he doesn't, he knows what to do if Drake comes in and improvises something and does something that wasn't scripted or planned. Because he's been doing it for decades probably. So if there was a template for any given artist, it would be like a race car. It would be something that is built to the last 0.5% around the artist and the engineer that work on it. Just like my studio, everything in this place is a armorage, is exactly in the way I want it, with the angle I want it, at the distance that I want it. If you take my SPL and you move it on the left bay, that ain't gonna work for me. It's gonna be a problem. If you move my fader 4 fingers away and I can't find it, that will disrupt my workflow. I will not have the same muscle memory. Just like a race car is built for the race driver who won many races with that car. So he knows how stiff he wants his steering wheel. He knows how he wants his suspension to work, how responsive the throttle, how responsive the brakes. Every single thing is built around that person. And if you're not that person, if you sit here, you won't feel at home. Just like if I sit in your studio, I won't feel at home. And this is exactly the point. Let's assume that this template, it's legit and exists. You are a newbie getting into a race car. What do you think is gonna happen? But let's skip all that, even if that would be enough to crumble this entire thing and concept of templates. Still want it, still get it, it's legit, let's go. You are now removing the artist. Let's say you buy the Drake template. You're not Drake. There's not Drake behind the microphone. What do you think is gonna happen? So again, this is insanity, right? And it's not insanity if you are a newbie. If you're a newbie, you just don't know better, you don't understand. The insanity is some people who actually say like, no bro, it works. Well, like I said at the beginning, I'm not trying to convince anybody. If it works for you, just go ahead, more power to you. But what happens usually is if the person who builds the template has a basic knowledge of recording, mixing, mastering, whatever he's building the template for, he will make it so it's safe for you to record a vocal at this level average, run it through it, and it will sound better than without it. It's not that hard. It's literally not that hard. You start with basic EQ, you start with basic dynamic processing. Before that, you start with auto-tune settings, which there's 4 settings that everybody uses. It ain't that hard again. And then throw a bunch of effects, maybe a cool thing, and that's it. With probably a text of 10 lines with some basic direction, you give someone who has no knowledge whatsoever of recording or mixing something that will kind of sound okay. I wouldn't even say okay, better than without it. Okay, if you stay conservative enough and if you play a couple of tricks, the person will be like, yeah, sounds better. Sounds better. Is that the best you can do? Is that the best chain or the best settings or the best mix you can do? No way in hell or heaven or the universe. Let's go even further. Let's say you land the gig of your life and Drake comes to your house to record. You have the template and you have everything ready to go, but you don't have that mic that he uses. I think he uses a C800. You don't have that. Do you really think that template, assuming all the unthinkable happened before, right? Do you really think that template will work? You just mix, you literally have the artist, you mix that mic. No, it won't. It won't. Maybe it won't sound like absolute because you got Drake there. I mean, how much can you f up? But it won't sound the same. It won't be the best it can. At the end of it, probably Drake would tell you like, I don't like this. Why it doesn't sound like when I record with Noah or whoever else? Because it doesn't work like that. And this is, we're talking about recording chain, which is the easiest ever, right? I'm gonna probably mention a potential mixing template or mastering template. But let me just give you this example. I've been recording Bella for years now, right? We released 2 singles, 2 videos. The new one is coming, full EP is coming, and we have over probably 20 songs ready to go. Countless demos. I probably recorded 60 demos at this point. I tried every single microphone that I could possibly put my hands on, and you know how many microphones I can put my hands on. Basically everything that you can possibly buy, and some that you can't even buy. I know her voice better than my own. I know everything that comes out of her mouth. Every sound, every mouth noise, every breath. I know every thought. I know what she's gonna do before she knows what she's gonna do behind the microphone. And after all these years and all this work under the belt, landed on one microphone that I've been using at least for the past 2 years on her. It's like fail-safe, no matter what, that's always the best mic, paired with the same preamp. Compression-wise, there's 2 compressors that I go back and forth. Sometimes I use one, sometimes I use the other. And that would be the Distressor sometimes, or Fatso, or the 670. Sometimes I use the SSL EQ for a little bit of correction going in. Sometimes I don't use EQ. Sometimes I throw a Mag or an Empress for a little top end. It depends on the song. It depends on the range she's singing. It depends if she's soft singing or going full power. And granted that a singer has a wildly greater range and array of sounds than a rapper. But still, even for a rapper, some things, so small adjustments based on the song, because it's not just about the performance in solo, is what's in the song. Because there's such a thing as masking. Masking is the biggest variable, right? So in one song that has a big piano, you might need certain EQ, or you prefer one mic or one pre versus the other, because of the big piano. If in the next song there's not a piano and there's only a little synth or bells, you need to change the chain to make the vocal sound exactly the same as the song before, because the context changed. And so you need to make it sound different to make it sound the same, because masking. And this is the beauty of this art. Nobody can tell you what, nobody can predict that. That's why templates are bullshit, because it changes every time. And this is, again, the most simple. If we're even considering talking about a mixing template with a number of variables that would make anybody's head spin if you were to try to do the math, you realize how foolish it is. Unless, again, as I mentioned at the beginning, is an extremely basic template. I don't have a template. I start my sessions all from scratch, okay? Also because I mix any genres and everything in between. But I kind of have my routine and my habits. So the drum is at the top. I always create and open certain parallel channels or certain chains of effects, whether or not I'm using them, because I usually do use them. I can make that and give it to you for free. Actually, you can see it in many free videos, and you can see it in the mixing courses all the time. But you will never see a mixing template where on the kick there's this effect and this plugin and this EQ and this compression, and then you do this, this, and that. You just drop your track there at this level. That is BS. It's just plain. And then you do that for, I don't know, 100 tracks. It's insane. It's crazy. And even worse, I want to say, for mastering template, because in mastering we are literally fine-tuning the last polish and the last shine and the last details. The key of mastering is critical listening more than the actual moves, right? And with a template, you're basically using a landmine when you should use a scalpel and a microscope. It makes no darn sense to me. So I think this is all I can think of. And again, I'm just trying to help dissecting the concept of templates logically and critically from the perspective of someone that has been doing this for a living for a long ass time. And trying to help you guys. That's it. Trying to help the guys that don't know better, right? And I'm also not trying, if you're already bought into it, go ahead. I'm not trying to convince you. If the templates work for you, good for you, better for you. Actually, I think on one hand, you know what? I think it partially depends how you are and how you embrace and approach music and this job and art. Some people want to use music to make money by putting the least amount of effort possible, and I don't want to work, I don't want to learn, I don't want to spend time, I don't want to invest time, I don't want to invest money. I want to find a fucking shortcut and just spend 5 minutes on the actual thing and then go out and promote the shit out of it and trying to, you know, blow up smoke and try to go viral on TikTok. I'm gonna bang 10 tracks a week, and you know what? Do it. do it because it might work. In this day and age, you might have a chance if you do that. This would make me vomit. Personally, it's just me, and I would rather do anything else than doing music that way. But this is just me, it's just my opinion. There's some people out there who actually do that probably successfully, they make money. Fuck it. You want to do it, just do it. You know, you don't need anybody's blessing. You don't need anybody to agree with you or think that is ethical or non-ethical or is cool or not cool. Who cares? There's some people that just want to make money using music to make money, and that's totally fine. The system is messed up anyway, so might as well use it if you can. Me personally, you won't ever see me pushing something like that because I have passion for this and because I want to be proud of the things that I do. And because, I don't know, I think it just boils down to the first one. I just have so much love and passion for the art, the craft, the music, the artists, and the process and the grind that I could never do that. I actually think sometimes I make my life as a mixer, mastering engineer unnecessarily harder just to prove it that I can do it, just because I feel bad sometimes taking shortcuts, even though they are faster and easier. I don't digest well the concept of easier because I don't feel like it's cheating. I feel like it's not earned, right? But that's also somewhat stupid because, you know, there are tools out there that, you know, speed up the workflow so you can concentrate on some other things. And so it's a fine line. I'm learning that myself too, how to handle and where is for me personally the line of, yeah, no, I'm not gonna use this and I'm not gonna do that because it rubs the wrong way, you know, as opposed to no, actually this just saved me time so I can focus on this other part that is more important. It takes more time and you actually at the end of the day improve the final result. So yeah, I think everything it has to be seen in the context and perspective. This is just my opinion, but I really wanted to, at least in the logical, analytic part of this video, tell the people that don't know better that in the best case scenario, templates will be a very basic bottom of the barrel starting point that will make your stuff sound a little better than nothing or better than you just doing random stuff because you literally don't know anything. But also I want to say, you watch 20 of my basic free videos on this channel, you will already know more than probably people making templates. I don't know if I'll put this in. At the same time, we have kind of a problem with today's society where everybody wants a shortcut and they just don't want to work, don't want to put the effort. They also kind of think that it's stupid and silly when they see someone grinding and they kind of want to believe there's no difference. You know, I'm actually smarter than you because I do this and it's just one click and it sounds the same. Nobody hears the difference. And please do not try to explain why that thought process is asinine and ridiculous to those people, because first of all, will be a lost cause. I saw it myself. Second, because we need people like that so we get more business. And third, because I'm sorry, but ignorance is not a sin, but today it literally takes 10 minutes for each subject, just scrolling through good videos on YouTube to know better. So, you know, at this point, if there's some people that want to believe that, but also they kind of laugh at the other newbies that actually put the effort in and try to learn the right way, well, then they deserve to be robbed, you know. I think this is it for the video. I hope you guys liked it. I hope it was useful. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Go check out the new website. There's a lot of cool stuff in there. Become a member, use the super thanks, support the channel, get some merch, subscribe if you haven't already, stay safe, and I'll see you in the next one.